And so Keener tells us that, first of all, then, with regard to this, this issue of uniform, and he's going to talk more about this later in the book, he tells us. He says, first, there's no such uniform experience against miracles, whether or not one trusts the claims of tens of millions of people that have experienced miracles, right? So many claims, at least some of them substantive, offer a rather vigorous challenge to simply assuming a uniform experience against miracles. So the first thing that he's suggesting here, or that he's attacking, we might say, is this notion of uniform experience against miracles. There is no such thing as that because we have thousands of claims of miracles. So how can that be uniform experience against miracles, right? And so he tells us that the uniformity argument essentially rejects all miracle reports, which are, inconvenient to the uniformity premise, yet such reports are very widely claimed. So he kind of says, Hume kind of assumes that there's uniform experience, but then that has to force him to dismiss all the, I guess we might say, non-uniform claims of the thousands of claims of miracles that people have had, right?
Yeah. And Keener later in this chapter, I think it's the Janissaries, I want to say it's a J word, who have reported miracles. It's almost it's unable to be held by people who are bringing up these claims today because it's problematic for Catholics and Protestants don't want to claim it. But the fact that things happen should be viewed independent on our kind of our denominational beliefs in that respect and figure out if the events actually happened. And so that's something that I think Keener does well, at least a little bit later in this chapter, that he says that he's going to do of making that point as a point of contention for proponents of miracles. Well, again, one cannot simply rule out miracles based on all of human experience, contrary to Hume's suggestion. Well, because humans experience claims many examples of miracles, right? So that humanity never experienced miracles. Well, there seems to be a lot of claims of miracles, and we know this because we talked about it in chapter 4, where we talked about even historians of ancient times claiming to be miracles. Now, you can dismiss them all, right, as not being true, but to say that humans at least don't experience miracles is almost a non-starter because humans have claimed to have experienced miracles. Again, 40 different authors, 66 books, we've documented at least people having claimed experience of miracles. Again, you can throw them all out and say it didn't happen. But
you can't say that uniform experiences,
right.
Indicates that miracles don't happen because you can't say that, right?
Right.
Because there are lots of experiences of miracles.
Right. No humans die because I haven't experienced death. And so if you bring me dead people, then I'm just going to say, well, those weren't ever alive people. And if you show me that they were alive, I say, well, they are alive there. And so you can't show me them being dead. Well, those people aren't people. So therefore, again, we can just make our claims so, preposterous that we're not allowing for any evidence to come in and falsify it, right? Yeah. Which again, falsifiability, if we want to throw out falsifiability, we can do that. But again, that's almost a non-starter for the other side as well.